Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the remarkable and dramatic life of Esther Williams, Hollywood's queen of underwater cinema. From her early days as a national swimming champion to her dazzling but perilous Hollywood career, and from complex relationships to her controversial romance with Argentine star Fernando Lamas. Join us as we uncover the details of a woman who overcame countless challenges to become an unforgettable icon. Esther Williams's intense relationship with Jeff Chandler ended in a shocking revelation so scandalous that she kept it hidden for years. The public only learned the surprising details of their breakup when she disclosed them in her bold, tell-all memoir. Williams, meanwhile, had long been known as the reigning queen of one of Hollywood's most unusual genres, the Aqua musicals of the 1940s and 50s. No one could rise out of the water quite like her, emerging from the depths with her iconic, radiant smile. But there was more to Esther Williams than just her celebrated on-screen persona. She was, at different times, a fierce competitor, a captivating pinup, an outspoken feminist, and even in some ways a woman who accepted being kept. Her identity was layered and complex, an enigma in the glamorous world of Hollywood. Williams's story began with an unconventional start. Before her birth, her family had moved to Los Angeles to support her older brother's budding career in the film industry. Esther was born soon after the move, at a time when her father hadn't yet managed to build any bedrooms in their new home. As a result, in 1921, the living room became the delivery room for baby Esther. Her entry into the world almost didn't happen, however. In a disturbing discovery made later in life, Esther learned she was an unwanted child, the fifth of 5, born to a mother who had decided she was done with raising children. Beulah Williams, her mother, had even tried to end the pregnancy, taking extreme and dangerous measures to do so, going horseback riding and jumping off furniture in the hopes of miscarriage. Though her efforts failed, the truth left an indelible mark on Esther's understanding of her origins. In a twisted way, her mother's wish was fulfilled in spirit, leaving Esther with a sense of rejection that would shape her life in unexpected ways. Esther wasn't the only member of her family with a brush with fame. Her older brother, Stanton, had experienced a brief taste of Hollywood success when Academy Award-nominated actress Marjorie Rambeau took notice of him, believing he had potential as an actor. Stanton appeared in 2 films, but then tragedy struck. The unthinkable happened. His life ended abruptly when his colon burst, leaving the family devastated. Only 5 years after Stanton's tragic death, another heartbreak unfolded. Beulah, possibly still grieving her lost son, invited a teenage boy named Buddy McClure to live with the family. McClure, having recently lost his own mother, seemed like the perfect fit, but behind his unassuming exterior was a dark and terrifying nature. One night, McClure cornered a young and vulnerable Esther and assaulted her. Traumatized and fearing what might happen if she spoke out, Esther kept the incident a secret for 2 long years, trapped in a cycle of silence and terror. Finally, she gathered the courage to confide in her mother, who confronted McClure. Although he confessed to the crime, her mother initially showed him mercy before ultimately deciding to expel him from the household for good. For Esther, the experience left a deep wound, and she yearned for something that would give her solace and strength to rebuild her life. She found that sanctuary in the water, which became her passion and her pathway to a new identity. Immersing herself in competitive swimming, she found a new focus and determination that would eventually catapult her into Hollywood stardom. Esther Williams' rise to fame was defined by remarkable dedication and challenges that few could have anticipated. While her heart was drawn to the freedom of the ocean, she ultimately preferred the safety and stability of swimming pools. To ensure she could practice consistently, she took on a job counting towels at a local pool. Her hard work and frequent access paid off, as she soon mastered advanced strokes, including the butterfly, which was then rare for female swimmers. Her skills led to 3 U.S. national swimming championships, an achievement that caught the eye of impresario Billy Rose. Recognizing her talent, Rose offered her a role in his Aqua show, an elaborate production that combined music, dance, and synchronized swimming. For Williams, this was a dream come true, a chance to showcase her skills on a grand scale. However, the glamorous world of show business brought its own set of complications. During her time with Aqua, Williams worked closely with Olympic swimmer and actor Johnny Weissmuller, famously known for playing Tarzan. Although admired by many, Weissmuller's off-screen charm left Williams unimpressed. As she later revealed in her memoir, Weissmuller pursued her persistently, but his advances fell flat, and she rejected him repeatedly. At the time, her heart was already spoken for. She was smitten with Leonard Kovner, a medical student she'd met during her college years at Los Angeles City College. Williams's transition from Aquacade to Hollywood cinema only intensified the physical and personal challenges she faced. Her now famous Aqua musicals often involved intricate and hazardous stunts that required exceptional physical endurance and skill. One of the most dangerous stunts she performed was in the 1952 film Dollar Mermaid, where she was tasked with a high dive from 60 feet, adorned in a costume that included 50,000 gold sequins and a rigid aluminum crown. This dive ended in disaster. The impact of hitting the water fractured 3 of her vertebrae, forcing her into a 6-month recovery in a body cast. Despite the immense risk and pain, Williams's perseverance and unwavering professionalism helped solidify her status as a Hollywood legend. Admired for her resilience as much as her iconic performances, Williams had met Kovner during her time at Los Angeles City College, and the two quickly became close. In June 1940, they married in a ceremony near San Francisco, beginning what Williams hoped would be her fairy tale romance. Yet despite her best intentions, she soon found that Kovner's dependable, practical nature felt more stifling than exciting. She later described him as smart, handsome, and reliable, but ultimately uninspiring. Despite her efforts to make their marriage work, their relationship lacked the passion she craved, and they divorced after just 4 years. As Williams moved forward, more heartbreaks and disappointments awaited. By 1940, she had set her sights on competing in the Olympics, which were to be held in Japan. But her dreams were dashed when global tensions escalated, leading to the cancellation of the Games as World War II loomed. Crushed but determined to adapt, Williams decided to pivot her focus from athleticism to the world of Hollywood. At the time, MGM and 20th Century Fox were rival studios, and each sought athletic stars. 20th Century Fox had figure skater Sonia Heaney, so MGM's head, Louis B. Mayer, looked for a star of his own. Mayer saw Williams as a promising contender and offered her a contract, but Williams was no novice when it came to negotiations. Knowing her worth, she made 2 bold demands before accepting Mayer's offer. First, she requested 9 months of training to learn the essentials of the trade: singing, dancing, and acting. She wanted to approach her film career as professionally as she had her swimming. But her second request was a testament to her true love. She asked for access to the swimming pool at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Swimming, it seemed, was not just her talent, but a lifelong passion she wasn't ready to abandon. Once her contract was finalized, Williams eagerly awaited her big break on the silver screen. Ironically, it arrived through an unexpected twist of fate. Lana Turner, a popular MGM actress, had recently eloped with bandleader Artie Shaw, whose notorious reputation as a womanizer raised concerns at MGM. Turner had been cast opposite Clark Gable in a leading role, but the studio, disapproving of her personal choices, rescinded her offer and extended it to Williams instead. This maneuver wasn't as straightforward as it seemed. Turner, determined to secure her role, was willing to go to great lengths to reclaim her place in the film. MGM, realizing the tension between the actresses, played both sides, manipulating the situation to suit their interests. They only offered Williams the role to pressure Turner into conforming to MGM's wishes, adding an extra layer of rivalry to Hollywood's already competitive scene. Turner's persistence eventually worked in her favor, allowing her to reclaim the role she so desired and leaving Williams disheartened and pushed aside. In need of a fresh chance to prove herself, Williams soon found an unexpected opportunity thanks to World War II. With her Olympic dreams dashed by the global conflict, Hollywood instead tapped into her talents to provide entertainment for U.S. servicemen. Though not yet a widely recognized star, Williams was assigned the role of performing for wounded soldiers in hospitals, a task that called for an appealing combination of charm, humor, and creativity. To make her routines engaging, Williams and her publicist immersed themselves in popular radio shows, tuning into comedians like Bob Hope and Jack Benny to pick up jokes and skits that would amuse the troops. But Williams was determined to do more than just mimic famous comedians. She created her own twist by setting up playful screen tests, casting injured soldiers as her romantic co-stars in lighthearted, fictional scenes. She cleverly gave them lines that involved rejecting her advances, much to the amusement of her audience. The soldiers enjoyed these moments of humor, which added levity to their days and left them laughing then comma in the middle of the sketch. Williams would surprise everyone by dramatically removing her sweater and skirt to reveal a dazzling gold lame swimsuit underneath. This grand reveal, with her glamorous swimsuit shining, instantly won over the soldiers, who suddenly shifted from rejecting her in jest to willingly playing along. Each routine ended on a high note, often with a playful kiss, leaving Williams even more adored by the servicemen. Her popularity among the troops skyrocketed, making her a beloved figure among them, but the buzz around her grew in an unexpected way. In 1943, a signed photo of Williams became the unlikely center of an international competition. Sailors from different navies competed in physical contests for the coveted photograph, and the rivalry became so intense that 4 men ended up hospitalized. Yet the picture hadn't actually been signed by Williams. Instead, a sailor in the Royal Australian Navy had faked her signature as a joke, writing a flirtatious note to his friend on the photo. The story of this playful prank became so legendary that it was later featured in a 2007 documentary, adding yet another layer to Williams' unique allure and memorable legacy. Finally, in 1944, Williams landed her big screen debut alongside comedian Red Skelton in a film originally titled Mr. Code. The plot revolved around a man who, in an attempt to win back his swimmer fiancée, enrolls at an all-women's college. MGM was so impressed with Williams' presence on screen that they rebranded the movie as Bathing Beauty, shifting the focus from Skelton to Williams, positioning her as the star attraction. To promote the film, MGM launched a highly visual campaign, flooding the media with photos of Williams in her swimsuit, despite the film itself having relatively few swimming scenes. For the premiere at New York's Astor Theater, MGM pulled out all the stops, erecting a colossal 6-story billboard in Times Square featuring an image of Williams diving, paired with the cheeky tagline, "Come on in, the story is fine." The campaign worked. Bathing Beauty was a smash hit, establishing Williams as a box office draw. MGM recognized the financial potential of water-themed films and invested heavily in Williams's future projects. They even built a custom pool on the studio lot, 90 feet square and 25 feet deep at the cost of $250,000, outfitted with a specialized underwater camera that followed her every move. But while this new water cinema genre was lucrative, it wasn't without its dangers. The pool featured a hydraulic lift used to raise Williams dramatically out of the water, sometimes as high as 50 feet above the surface. Although it added an impressive visual element, the contraption was a risky setup. MGM's strategy for these movies was simple. Take an existing script, swap in Williams as the lead, and incorporate water scenes. According to Williams, the studio would simply change her co-star and alter the water type, but essentially it was the same story over and over. As Williams grew aware of her film's profitability, she became increasingly assertive with studio executives. Unlike other stars who stayed quiet under pressure, she famously confronted MGM head Louis B. Mayer, challenging him to stop yelling and asserting that he couldn't shout at her until he could reach the end of the pool faster than she could. Williams understood that her work wasn't going to earn her critical accolades, but she was well aware of the revenue her films generated. She once quipped to fellow MGM actress Deborah Kerr that one of her water movies could fund 2 of Kerr's prestigious dramas. While she knew her value in the studio, her personal life was far more challenging. After divorcing Leonard Kovner due to his uninspiring nature, Williams took a drastic turn in her second marriage, choosing Ben Gage, a singer and actor. Gage and Williams had 3 children together, but their relationship was far from a fairy tale. Gage, a heavy drinker with poor financial management, wasted nearly $10 million of Williams's hard-earned money. In 1947, while filming Fiesta in Mexico with Ricardo Montalban, Gage showed up unexpectedly, causing chaos. His behavior was so disruptive that the Mexican government eventually banned him from the country, but the trouble didn't stop with Gage. On set, Williams witnessed a series of unsettling accidents, from stuntmen being gored by bulls to crew members contracting cholera from local street food. Despite these hardships, her film career continued, though it was often accompanied by physical challenges. In 1947's This Time for Keeps, one of her swimsuits, a heavy plaid flannel piece, became waterlogged and dragged her to the bottom of the pool. Facing the terrifying possibility of drowning, Williams managed to escape by shedding the heavy garment, resurfacing with nothing but her characteristic resilience. Frustrated by these setbacks, Williams began considering ways to shape her own path. In 1952, she noticed that the U.S. Navy's women's swimwear lacked both form and style. As the spokesperson for Coal of California Swimwear, she proposed a more practical and flattering design, and her suggestion led to the production of 50,000 new swimsuits for the Navy. That same year, she starred in $1 Million Mermaid, a biopic about Australian swimmer Annette Kellerman. But the shoot was grueling. One of her costumes, adorned with 50,000 gold sequins, became unbearably heavy in the water, while a rigid aluminum crown added to her discomfort. For one scene, Williams was asked to dive from a height of 60 feet. Although she was hesitant, she went through with the stunt. As she hit the water, she felt a snap in her neck. It turned out she had fractured 3 vertebrae and was forced to wear a body cast for 6 months. In court, Williams delivered a line that left a lasting impression. "I'm tired of being what my husband does for a living." Her words cut through the courtroom, and the judge, with little left to say, granted her the divorce. Free from her marriage to the irresponsible Gage, Williams found herself thinking about someone she had admired for years, Argentine actor Fernando Lamas. She had put a pin in her interest in Lamas during her marriage, but now, newly single, she was ready to take things further. In 1961, Williams and Lamas became a couple, and soon their lives were intertwined in ways both thrilling and unusual. Though charming and handsome, Lamas was known to be quite demanding in his personal life. He wanted a wife who would cater to him, handling all the cooking, cleaning, and even serving his drinks on command. Early on, he made his intentions clear by destroying every photo of Williams's ex-husband he could find, determined to erase any trace of her past life. But he didn't stop there. Before he would consider marriage, he presented Williams with a startling ultimatum: cut ties with her children or lose him. In a decision that shocked many, Williams chose Fernando, agreeing to his terms and, in effect, isolating herself from her children. Now, with her career behind her and no children around, Williams was left solely with Lamas as the center of her world. The arrangement seemed unusual, and, to outsiders, the relationship might have looked precarious at best. Yet when describing her life with Lamas, Williams spoke with an almost reverent admiration, famously calling their marriage her apple in the sky, a term that captured the idealized, almost magical way she viewed their union. Williams remained devoted to Fernando Lamas until his death from cancer in 1982. With Lamas gone, she found herself free to reconnect with aspects of her life she had set aside. First and foremost, she reunited with her children, a reconnection that was long overdue and likely filled with both joy and healing. This renewal of family ties seemed to mark the beginning of a new chapter for Williams. With acting behind her, she turned to business, launching a swimwear line that showcased her lifelong expertise in aquatic style and performance. Her designs became popular, and the brand continues to be available today, Cementing her legacy in the world of fashion and functional swimwear. In 1994, Williams married once more, this time to actor and writer Edward Bell, who was 14 years younger than she was. The two enjoyed a fulfilling and loving partnership, remaining together until Williams passed away on June 6, 2013 from natural causes. In honor of her deep connection to water, her ashes were scattered in the Pacific Ocean, a fitting tribute to the mermaid who had captivated audiences worldwide. And that wraps up the colorful story of Esther Williams, a cinematic legend, a talented athlete, and a symbol of resilience. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories about historical figures and Hollywood stars. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.